Discretion warning. This video is based on my Commander life experiences only. It is my proven method. This video will not build your deck for you, nor will it build the perfect deck, but give you the tools for a strong starting deck. This video will help you learn how to build a good Commander deck without the need for net decking or to copy someone else's deck from the internet. So these will be strong skills to learn. The internet is a great place to find cards and synergies for deck building. Copying other people's decks takes a lot out of the learning process. So if you do copy a deck, please take the time to learn how it's structured and build, so you can learn how other people see how their decks are made. Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise. Today we are going to learn how to build a good Commander deck. You have goals today. Your goal today is to learn the basics of a starter deck that will give you the scope, focus, and technical skill that you need to build your great starting Commander deck. So please take notes, but you can always watch this video. So this part of the video, I'm assuming you have selected the Commander you want for your new deck, and that you have the experience of playing Magic the Gathering enough to feel comfortable enough to try and build a new deck. First note, your deck has 99 cards in it. Your mindset for your deck is restricted to 32 cards. We'll get to that later. Because your new deck has a skeleton build, you could literally build a deck while watching this video. A deck's skeleton is like your skeleton. It's built to stand up and function with the use of you as the muscle. You are the brain of the whole entire operation. Let's do this, and we start right now. The acronym SFT stands for Scope, Focus, and Technical Skill. Scope, Focus, and Technical Skill. This is important. It's now been said 3 times. So I want you to understand this acronym is the whole basis of this entire video. What is Scope? Scope is the ability to see how the deck is supposed to play from the beginning of the game to the end. Scope gives you the ability to predict that you will have and draw the cards you need, helping alleviate that luck of the draw feeling. To scope is to break your deck into 5 parts, effectively building a skeleton for your deck. A skeleton gives your deck a body. The 5 parts of your deck is as follows. Land, 37 cards. Mana, ramp, and draw, 12 cards. Removal, 10 cards. Board wipes, 8 cards. Your body of cards, 32. So please take notes. These numbers are definitive for the deck building process. They are not definitive for the deck overall. These numbers are for the scope. As you build your deck up through gameplay, they will change. The scope shows you the amount of important game type cards you will see on average and how often you will see them. A game type card is a card you expect to see at the time you need them for the process of gameplay. Example, you can see that the ramp and draw section has an overall average of being in your hand early game. That's where you would expect and want to see such cards. Your removal spells are less as robust as the mana ramp and draw, though you can see they should appear almost as frequent. And your board wipes? They should be in your hand more in the mid-range time of the game, where you want to see them. The deck you want to build will fit between the mana ramp and draw, the removal, and the board wipes. And that is the scope. Just remember, maybe want to write it down, or you can always come back and watch this video. Just remember, there's 37 lands, 12 mana ramp and draw cards, 10 removal cards, 8 board wipes, and 32 cards for the body of the deck you want to build. Focus. What is focus? Focus is focusing on the CMC, converted mana cost, and color of your scope skeleton to match your intended goal of when you want to cast them. For example, you want your mana ramp, draw, and removal spells to be aggressively low costed as possible. I would say you want your mana ramp and draw and removal to be costed between 1, 2, and 3 converted mana cost. It is important to keep your mana ramp, draw, and removal spells at a low converted mana cost, because you want to build your land base around this aspect to make a better aggressive early start. When building your new commander deck, this needs to be your primary focus, keeping low-costed CMC mana ramp, draw, and removal, because you need to be aggressive with your mana ramp, draw, and removal to gain control of your game as soon as possible. Your removal is not as important as your mana ramp and draw is early game, because your mana ramp and draw will fix everything you need for your removal. So first focus on your mana ramp and draw, then your removal. The cheaper the converted mana cost of your scope skeleton is, the more efficient your deck will run. So look for the most gain on a card for your mana ramp, draw, and removal with low converted mana cost. Gain are cards that offer more than just one ability or gives you multiple options. That brings us to technical skill. What is technical skill? Technical skill is deciphering the meaning of mana ramp and draw and the purpose of removal. Mana ramp and what it means. Mana ramp is a term people use that means to place more land out onto the battlefield faster than your one land per turn rate. Mana fixing is a term used to describe being able to use spells that give you the colored land and mana you need to play your spells more efficiently and as soon as possible. Mana ramp and mana fixing. I place it in the same category because they naturally fit the same purpose 85% of the time. Mana ramp pushes to have more land to enter the battlefield. Mana fixing does not always ramp the amount of land on the battlefield. Mana fixing is to get different lands or different card types that give you different colors of mana. These are mana ramp cards. Rampant Growth and Wayfarer's Bauble. Search your library for a basic land card puts in the battlefield tapped. one as a cheaper CMC. Thrown Dynamo taps add 3 colors mana to your mana pool, which, used right, 2 of these cards will mana fix for you as well. And these are mana fixing cards. Armiliosphere searches the library for 2 basic land cards and puts them into your hand. Expedition Map fetches for a non-basic land card, and Sylvan Library grabs a basic land, and they all go to your hand. One of these cards can block an attack for you as well. And these 3 cards both ramp and fix your mana for you. Chromatic Lantern taps to add a mana of any color, but also lets all your lands tap for any color. Kodama's Reach and Cultivate do the same thing. You can search your library for 2 basic land cards, put one in your hand and one on the battlefield tapped. Cards that have both ramp and mana fixing on the same card are stronger on low 1-3 converted mana cost cards. This helps make your deck more aggressive from the start, giving you control of your game faster. Card draw and what it means. What is drawing? Card drawing is a term used to express that a card will let you draw additional cards other than the single card you draw on each of your turns. Card draw comes in 3 main different forms. 1. Drawing cards off a single effect. 2. Digging for cards. And 3. Draw engines. Card draw off a single effect are like these 3 below. Harmonize draws you 3 cards. Knight's Whisper draws you 2 cards and you lose 2 life. Baleful Strix is a creature that comes into play and draws you a card, and you normally get that effect once, hence drawing a card off a single effect. Digging, it lets you pick a card, maybe more, from a selection of cards from the top of your library. Here we have Dig Through Time, drawn from Dreams, and Diabolic Vision, which Dig Through Time has dig in the name. It lets you look at the top 7 cards of your library and you get to put 2 of them in your hand. Drawn from Dreams does the same thing for a different mana cost, and Diabolic Vision lets you look at the top 5 cards of your library and you get to put 1 in your hand. A draw engine is a consistent way to draw more cards. Phyrexian Arena lets you draw an additional card at the beginning of your upkeep and you lose a life. Monastery Siege, its con ability, lets you draw an additional card each turn in the cost you have to discard a card. Beast Whisper is a creature that says whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. These are great draw engines. Removal and what it means. Ask yourself, what is removal? Removal are cards that simply remove a card from the battlefield for you on your opponent's side of the battlefield. Removal can destroy and exile permanents from your opponent's side of the battlefield. Destroy and exile are 2 different effects. I'll make this one simple. To destroy is to put a permanent into its owner's graveyard. To exile is to put it in its owner's exile zone. There is more for opponents to do with a destroyed permanent than it is for a permanent that's been exiled. A graveyard is more like a second hand, and exile is harder to get cards back from. Removal is important for getting rid of effects and creatures on the battlefield to help you win your game. You need removal for all kinds of effects and not enough card slots in your 99 for each effect. See, you have 10 removal in your skeleton. You need cards that give you multiple choice options for removal of different card types. Example, you have Vindicate, Casualties of War, and Bant Charm. Vindicate destroys any targeted permanent, very flexible. Casualties of War, it lets you choose a different target for artifact, creature, enchantment, land, and planeswalkers. Bant Charm lets you put a creature under its owner's library or destroys target artifact. Removal with multiple choice options gives you flexibility to evolve your strategy as the game progresses. Removal with advantage. Remove a creature from your opponent's side of the board and you get a bonus for doing such. And this is usually a power creep in your game. Here are 3 cards that are both removal with advantage and still your opponent's creatures. Control Magic, Corrupted Conscience, and Slave of Bolas are removal with advantage because not only are you removing a creature from your opponent's side of the board, but you are also gaining a creature. Cards that remove a creature to your side of the board, like Enslave here, are unique and they have a high power level. You can put spells like Enslave in your body portion of the deck because they effectively act like a creature for you, but it's also more removal to what you already have going into the deck. And that is Technical Skill. You have 37 land, 12 mana ramp and draw spells, 10 removal spells, 8 board wipes, and 32 cards in your body. The body of the deck is your playground to experiment with. Everything we have discussed is about giving you the ability to play cards from your body portion of your deck. The scope of your deck is designed to work the body of your deck. That is why the acronym Scope, Focus, Technical Skill works. The body of the deck depends on your build to have its scope and focus. Everything else develops technical skill. And one more thing. Board wipes. Board wipes are for resetting the board to give you time to develop your game. That's it. The end. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification if you want to see more of my content. If you liked it, I'd love to hear about it. Please share this video with your friends who want to learn, and stay tuned for extra credits.